Diamond here, and welcome to the WWE SummerSlam 2019 predictions video. Now, I already did a solo one, but I have a guest with me today. He is the God of Wolves. He is known as the Destiny 2 lore historian, ladies and gentlemen, Wolf, or AKA John. John?
What's up, people?
Alright, so, today, John, as we already talked about earlier before we started, you are giving your predictions for 2019 SummerSlam, which is live on the WWE Network, and it is live from Toronto, Canada. The very first, I guess this is the first time that, not the first time, but this is actually since 1992 that SummerSlam was going to be out of the United States. Because
It has been a while.
yeah, because I said this in my earlier one. The last time SummerSlam was out of the United States was in Birmingham, England, back in 1992. One of the matches was actually the match for the Intercontinental title between Bret Hart and the British Bulldog, which at that time, I believe, at the crowd was British Bulldog's family, and he actually won with a Hurricanrana pinfall. So anyways, now there has been updates since the last Fallout, but I'm gonna try to keep it as oh no, it doesn't show it. It just says predictions. But, yeah, I guess it didn't really matter. Anyways, so we're going to talk about the matches. But first, I do want to mention two things. There has been two predictions according to CBS, the official website. It says that Roman Reigns might have a confrontation with Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Now, John, I want to ask you, because I'm probably going to know the answer. Do you think that confrontation's gonna happen?
No, more than definitely.
There you go, and that's the good question. And now, the next question. Now, the next one is another prediction from CBS here. They are supposed to be saying there is a Intercontinental Championship match that will be happening between Shinsuke Nakamura, the champion, and Ali, or Mustafa Ali, if I say his name right. So two predictions on this one, because number one, is this match going to happen? And number two, if the match does happen, who you got as the winner?
Well, I'll be honest with you. With this one, I do believe this match is going to happen, and I think it's probably going to be like the kickoff show, like they usually do, where they have some matches before the actual event.
Right.
So it might be part of the kickoff show. As for who's gonna win it, if it does happen, I believe, in my opinion, I think Shinsuke is gonna retain it and let this feud build up. Or they're gonna let this feud build up for a little bit.
Yeah, because this is starting to be fresh and it's not been fully developed yet. So I'm agreeing with you. I am going with Shinsuke Nakamura as well. Now, we have here the 10 matches, really, on the SummerSlam card. And I guess we're going to start it off with, of course, how I started it off, with the Cruiserweight Championship match, as Drew Gulak, the champion, goes up against, now I'm going to butcher the name again, Oney Lorcan. Now, these two have been part of the 205 Live roster, and I know that you, John, and I have not watched 205 Live. But,
well, I haven't watched a lot of 205 Live, but I have watched some.
To, like, get an understanding on it, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, do you think? Oh, and I'm thinking that Drew Gulak might retain the title against Oney Lorcan, because I played as Lorcan on WWE 2K19, and his moveset's pretty good, but I think it's going to be Drew Gulak, because that's the only exposure I've seen of Gulak as of late, as him being champion. So, but go ahead, who do you have in this match?
Unfortunately, I've seen both wrestlers, and I will have to, and I have to agree with you, it's going to be Drew Gulak, but it's going to be a very hard-fought battle between the two. It's definitely going to be it's definitely going to be a 205 live match, no matter what.
Oh yeah, pretty much. After
You're going to see high flying moves and everything else. It wouldn't be 205 live without it.
Oh, now remember that Gulak doesn't really much do the cruiserweight thing, but although he is less than 205. But anyways, let's continue on. This one, I know this is a one-sided match. You know it. I know it. It's Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler. John,
do you mind if I do it the proper way?
Of course.
Goldberg. Goldberg.
And actually, what's funny was, John, if you actually watch my solo predictions video, I had the match Dolph Ziggler versus Goldberg. Dolph Ziggler did put some offense in, but at the end, Goldberg did the spear and the jackhammer, and 1, 2, 3, he won the match.
Listen, you're talking about a guy who beat Brock Lesnar. Oh, I'm sorry, no, Bitch Lesnar in 1:18 seconds at last year's SummerSlam.
Survivor Series. It was Survivor Series.
Was it Survivor Series or SummerSlam? Oh, well.
No, it was Survivor Series. And it was actually Survivor Series 2016.
No, I'm sorry, 13. Was it 2016? Yeah.
All right.
He beat Bitch Lesnar in 1:18 seconds. And now, he did have a bad match earlier this year against The Undertaker. And he did apologize for it.
Of course. Yep. Absolutely.
And now, we all know Undertaker came back from that match and put on an amazing performance with Roman Reigns against Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon.
Yeah. Now, I actually also want to mention, though, actually, I was hearing this, and I was thinking of it. Undertaker has, apparently re-signed with WWE, but I don't know what kind of the details on the deal is, but all I know is that Undertaker has re-signed a WWE contract with WWE. But I'm hoping, this is my 2 cents, I'm hoping this is just going to be a Legends or Hall of Fame contract to put him in the Hall of Fame for next year, which I'm just hoping. Because Undertaker's been in the business for so long, and it's just crazy that a man that is in his 50s, I mind you, that does all of this stuff, it just amazes me still. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get to our match here. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor. Now, I made it a 2 predictor on this one because there are 2 predictions I want to get out of you. Number 1, I know it said Finn Balor.
Is Demon King Finn Balor going to show up?
There you go. That's the first prediction. And number 2, who do you got?
Well, honestly, basically my second answer, the answer to your first prediction is going to basically answer your prediction to the second one. Yes, okay. And Finn Balor. Because WWE likes to keep streaks going on. And every time Finn Balor has brought out the Demon King, he has yet to lose a match.
This one I'm actually have to disagree on with you, John. I actually picked that. I would see Finn Balor the Demon as an appearance. That's the first prediction. You got that right. But I picked the Fiend because the reason why is because they're booking Bray Wyatt and the Fiend thing just so well. And I'm actually curious on, you know, I mean, right now, the Fiend Bray Wyatt has got a little bit of momentum, like something going on, and I think the fans might agree with me that they really want to see the Fiend, like, build himself up as this unstoppable monster who can finally maybe slay the demon, at SummerSlam. Now, it's just my 2 cents.
Hold on. The reason why I'm picking Demon King Finn Balor to win is because I want to see this feud build up.
Oh, you could be right. Maybe like they will do like a, like I was actually thinking of this, like the Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan kind of wish thing for me, because they tried to rumor Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan back in 2005 when they had their rivalry. They were gonna have their rivalry build up when Shawn made the mention to Hulk, like, hey, I'll go over at SummerSlam, and then for the next 2 pay-per-views, you can win those 2. And then Hulk Hogan going, no, brother, here's what we're gonna do, brother. I'm gonna beat you the first time, then the second time, and the third time, because Shawn would never put Hulk Hogan over. But this was back in the day, though.
Yeah.
But no, I can see, actually, here's what I'm thinking. If Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt do have this feud and it's building up, I would actually see Bray win the first match, and then probably like Finn Balor will win maybe like the second match, and then maybe the third match. Who knows? But I would agree. But I can agree with. I think I can see a feud building up in this one. So
well, if that's the case, WWE, like I said, WWE likes to keep streaks going.
That is true. That's actually true.
So we might not actually see Demon King Finn Balor then. It might just be regular Finn Balor if they're going to put the Fiend over.
Well, we'll see.
And then the following pay-per-view, we're going to see Demon King Finn Balor against the Fiend Bray Wyatt.
Only time can tell. And it will be this Sunday. Anyways, next we have Kevin Owens versus the spoiled rich kid with a silver spoon in his mouth, the proclaimed best in the world, Shane McMahon, in a career-threatening match. If Owens loses, his career he'll quit WWE. Which I picked Kevin Owens on this one because there is no way damn in hell. But then again, if WWE, I know WWE and Vince McMahon, they want to push Shane over, but I want to go with Kevin Owens.
Well, the thing is, now again, this is just rumors, so it might not actually happen, but I do agree with you on Kevin Owens winning.
However,
but I think afterwards, I think there's going to be somebody going to make an appearance. Somebody who has issues with WWE and in general.
And we already know who that is, and I think you might know the theme. John, I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Someone who doesn't like the fact Shane McMahon is calling himself best in the world.
Come on, don't build us up. We already know. Just
now, as I said, this is just rumors.
I know.
But a certain someone whose theme I believe you know very well, Cameron.
Yep. There you go.
That CM Punk is supposed to make an appearance at SummerSlam.
We will see, though, if that rumor would hold true, and if not, it will be just a rumor left in the dust. Next. Yes. Next, we have the United States Championship match, as AJ Styles would defend the United States title against Ricochet. Now, I'm pretty much sure I made a mention on this. AJ Styles is going to have some help from the club. Oh, I'm sorry. The OC. The OC. And probably C on AJ retaining. However, that's just my prediction on my 2 cents what WWE was thinking of. But I was thinking maybe Ricochet could retain the title. But that's just my 2 cents. John?
Unfortunately, give me a sec.
Alright.
Unfortunately, I would love to see Ricochet win back the U.S. title, but I have to agree with you. It's the OC is going to interfere in this match.
And see, this is why great minds think alike here. Now, alright, so in speaking of great minds think alike, I think you would agree with me on this one, John, that this one is guaranteed a dream match, basically, for some. It is Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus, who is coming out of retirement, who hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania 27, and she was involved in a 6-person tag team match with John Morrison and Snooki from the Jersey Shore. And I guess she went up against... Oh God, who did she go up against? I know they went up against... I know one of them was... Vicky Guerrero. I remember that. I think it was Vicky Guerrero. I can't now remember. Fuck. But I know it was Vicky Guerrero involved somehow. But Trish Stratus was involved in this match. But now I predicted... I probably predicted something like maybe Trish Stratus to win, but then again, you probably want to push the Charlotte Flair fan train over, so that's what WWE.
What Charlotte Flair fan train? There is none.
That is true. That is true. She's basically like a copycat of her father. Except she's a female and she doesn't know anything. No, doesn't know what much she can do on her own. Anyways, who do you got?
I will never pick Charlotte Flair to win. Never.
So Trish Stratus?
Trish Stratus in my book. I'm sorry. I do not care for somebody who's basically getting by in WWE because of her father's name. She has yet to do anything worthwhile that shows me she can do something by herself. She stole her dad's music, basically. Stole the way he fucking dressed. Stole the woo from him. I mean, seriously?
And
Charlotte, do your own fucking thing.
No.
Maybe I'll be impressed by you.
Now wait, Chili John, you forgot one other thing. The figure 4 leg lock. Then she got it like her own spin on it, but still, the figure 4 leg lock involved.
Yeah, her father's submission hold.
Now hold on. Now my phone just decided not to. No. Okay, hold on. This phone is taking its sweet time here. It doesn't really give a shit. Okay, here we go. Alright, so next we have the SmackDown Women's Championship match as Bayley will defend her title against Ember Moon. I obviously picked Ember Moon because this will be an opportunity for her to actually win her first title in WWE, and then probably see her build something up against Bayley, like Bayley will use her rematch clause or something, but build something up from there. But who do you got, John?
Unfortunately, this one I will have to defer on, but not because of the fact I don't want to see Ember Moon win, but because again, this is probably going to be one of those things where WWE is going to want to sit there and build up a feud.
So you're picking Bayley?
I will pick Bayley winning by DQ or count out.
Alrighty. So next on our lovely match list here is a submission match. The Master of the Disarmer, the Enchantress of the Disarmer, I should say, Becky Lynch, versus the the Queen of Hearts, as she used to call herself back in the day, Natalya. Now, this one I kind of came close to calling and saying I would say, and I'm actually going to say Becky Lynch, because come on, they're still going to push the crazy train on Becky Lynch. But, John, who you have?
This one I will agree with you is going to be Becky Lynch, but again, this one will probably wind up ending in a DQ against Natalya.
Because
which in turn will sit there and build and cause their feud to build up for another pay-per-view event.
So you're possibly thinking that maybe like Natalya will do the sharpshooter on Becky, and Becky will hold on to the ropes, and then the ref's gonna counter like the 5, like she's like what's been happening a lot lately.
Basically, yeah.
All right. So this is a 10-year. I guess this is kind of a 10-year long deciding on what this feud is going to be about, but you know, they feuded back in 2009, but now 10 years later they're feuding, but this time for the WWE title. It is Kofi Kingston, the champion, versus Randy Orton. Now, like I said, they had some history back in the day in 2009 when Kofi was still like doing his Jamaican thing, and also was like, I think this was after his Jamaican thing kind of passed by and was actually now billed from Ghana back in the day. And then had that big, kind of a big time feud with Randy Orton with Legacy, and then of course spilling the paint on Randy Orton's like custom NASCAR. If you remember that.
Yes, I remember.
Now,
I do remember that because I was upset about that because that was my favorite NASCAR driver's car. They did that too, so.
Wait, wait, yeah, I forgot whose favorite car was it? Whose car was that?
So NASCAR driver, driver of the number 18 at the time for both Cup and Xfinity was Kyle Busch, because that was a Joe Gibbs car.
Oh. Well, that makes sense then. Okay, well, now I see why you were upset. I probably would explain it, but and I think I went for Kofi because he, you know, they're gonna keep continuing on with the Kofi train. But John, who you got, man?
Unfortunately, this one I will disagree with you on.
You're gonna have Randy Orton
win? I think it's time. It's gonna be Randy Orton winning, but Kofi's gonna retain the title.
Okay, so you're thinking like
this is gonna wind up ending in a DQ.
Okay. Well then.
Now, which is gonna set up another match with. Which could wind up at the next pay-per-view, which could wind up ending in a no DQ match.
Yeah, I can probably see that happening. But now, next, this one, and I'm pretty much sure they're probably thinking this one as the main event, and I'm pretty much sure it might be. It is the Universal Championship match as you said it, Bitch Lesnar versus the Architect, the Kingslayer, the Beast Slayer, the one that will burn it down, Seth freaking...
Hold on. No. If you're gonna say it, you gotta say it. If you're gonna say it, you gotta say it properly.
Go ahead, John. I'll let you do the honors on this one.
Burn it down!
Alright. Yes, so Seth Rollins and Bitch Lesnar for the Universal title. Everybody's probably saying, a lot of people are actually picking Brock Lesnar. And me, I actually think maybe Seth could win it, but WWE might be still bringing Brock Lesnar still as champion, but I said that's going to be the problem because Brock Lesnar, every time he's champion, the title will be remaining useless. It won't be relevant. Seth Rollins has made that title relevant. Ever since he won it at WrestleMania 35, he actually got up-and-comers. They actually had good matches. We started getting something good until Brock Lesnar came in, cashed in that damn Money in the Bank, which I still call bullshit on. And really, if we keep Bitch Lesnar on the title, it's just gonna make the title worthless again. So I went with Seth because of the fact that if Brock stays as champion, that title is gonna remain useless. It won't mean anything. It's not gonna be the secondary world title that the fans wanted. Because let me explain something. I'm sorry, I know you want to do your prediction, but I want to go ahead and mention this. When WWE did its first brand split in 2002, they had the Undisputed title. Alright? Because during this time, they unified the WWE title and the WCW World Championship and made it one, you know, the big gold belt, basically, for WWE, and it had that eagle. If you remember the Undisputed title, John. Alright. That was basically the championship to go after. But then when when SmackDown decided to exclusively have Lesnar as the champion on SmackDown, Raw was without a title, and that's why Raw had the World Heavyweight title reinstated, giving it to the number one contender at the time, Triple H. Because that way, you actually have a second world title that would maybe mean something. When Triple H actually had the title, yeah, sure, Triple H as champion was like kind of like demanding and out pushing, but here's the fact: Triple H actually had the best rivalries as world champion. I mean, against RVD, Shawn Michaels, Booker T, Kevin Nash. Actually, Kevin Nash's their rivalry was actually pretty good, but some people actually didn't make sense. But they say the worst ones out of his title runs was the matches he had with Scott Steiner back at Royal Rumble in 2003, and then the Survivor Series, because those matches were the worst. But you know what? Hey, that's just my 2 cents. But having a secondary world title is supposed to be relevant for those saying, "Oh, hey, you know, this title could face off against the WWE title," but that's not happening with the Universal title. The Universal title back in 2016, it's been, since its debut, it was nothing but cursed. Finn Balor was injured. You had Kevin Owens. Yeah, Kevin Owens had a good run with the title. Then Goldberg had it just decided to disappear for a little bit, but not too bad. Brock Lesnar has disappeared it. And then what?
For a long ass time.
For a long ass time, and then what? You had Roman Reigns, who had finally hold it, but then he had to freaking let it go because of cancer. And then who had it back but fucking Lesnar? Lesnar did it again. And then Seth won it, then Lesnar won it again. So basically that Universal title, the list, I know since 2016 it's not been impressive, but you gotta understand that Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, those men actually trying to make that belt relevant. Goldberg, I mean, I gotta cut some slack on him at least. But I know he didn't defend the title at like all the pay-per-views and whatever, but except when he lost it to Lesnar. And then Lesnar, sure, he defended the title, but they're gonna be squash matches. So that's just my 2 cents. But anyways, John, I already got my rant out of the way. Who do you got as the winner?
Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to. I really don't want to say this. I never ever want to pick this asshole to win, but Brock Lesnar is gonna win it due to DQ.
Holy shit, that's actually the first time you actually
I know.
Well, it's a first here in this channel. It's the first that John says.
I would, like I said, I would usually never, ever pick this motherfucker to win.
But due to the kind of the circumstances that we just talked about, and due to the fact that, you know, the WWE.
Unfortunately, our homeboy Seth is injured too.
No, that is actually true. That is sad, but it's true. He is down. He is out. He is with an injury at this very moment. So, all right. Well, with that being said, that is the SummerSlam 2019 predictions out of the way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed our prediction, this predictions video. Like you will enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the solo one and then this one with John. John, do you want to exit out with anything before I give out the closing statement?
The only thing I will have to say is that, although I know I picked Brock Lesnar to win, but I'm still rooting for our homeboy Seth Rollins.
There you go. There you freaking go. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And, well, I'll talk to you all on the next one when we review 2019 SummerSlam. Stay tuned for that one.